Question 587. Do you have any irrational prejudices?
Portsmouth fans count?
Or rational ones?
Again, Portsmouth fans.
Is that rational or irrational?
I haven't quite decided.
I have a rational prejudice that Disney is terrible.
I knew that was coming.
What makes you think that's a rational prejudice? The whole company. Tens of thousands of people. And you're prejudiced against all of them.
People who will not listen when someone tries to tell them something when they call into customer service.
Sorry, Seraphim, what you're saying?
Exactly.
I mean, serious answer to this question. I probably do have prejudice. Sometimes I think you can be unaware that you have a prejudice sometimes until it's shown to you.
I'm sure I do. I just can't think of anything right now.
I can't think of anything off the top of the head, but I suppose though in a certain way I am very tempted to dismiss certain people because of perhaps other ideas or whatever they've come up with, like, I don't know, flat earthers or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
They might be right about something completely unrelated or something.
But you're prejudiced against them.
I might have this tendency to think, you're a fucking flurf, what do you think? You know, what the hell do you know? But they might be right about something that's completely unrelated to that particular topic. But it can be, you can easily fall into that.
I think that's a prejudice that is very difficult to avoid.
Yes.
If you develop that thought about a group or a person that they're...
And the problem is, again...
because you disagree with them on some topic, then it's difficult to find common ground.
Well, again, you can't. You come back to your 150 people. Anyone outside of your 150 people, you have to stereotype. You have to group together. You have to find some meaningful way.
I mostly agree with Amanda. She says she is prejudiced against Republicans. I am a lot.
And Southerners.
I'm used to Southerners because I am a Southerner.
She says...
I have enough self-hate already, so I don't need to add to that for being a Southerner. But at least Amanda likes me. I'm happy.
Mathpick says, a rational prejudice when some people misuse laws of thermodynamics. Sammy says...
That's getting into the flat earth thing again, isn't it?
It is. Sammy says, loud eaters. Not sure if that's rational or irrational, but death to loud eaters. Ike says, I answer with skin colour is never a reason for prejudice. Chosen culture always is. You don't choose your circumstances, but you choose how you'll handle your life and culture. It is the one of those disturbing things that, again, you have to group people together based on something. And that means...
Do you choose your culture, though, seriously?
Some people do,
you can.
But for many
you can do, but...
You don't initially, obviously.
You don't initially, no. And it can be very difficult to break from something you've been brought up in.
Some people have an opportunity to choose a new culture, but many don't.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ever exposed to a new culture.
Yeah, it could be very, very frightening. You know, how often do we hear these sort of deconversion stories of that, of people being very, very afraid to leave their religion, or let alone come out openly about it.
That came out last night in my stream. There was someone in the chat.
I'll watch that later. I'll watch that later. Okay, I'll promise you.
Well, it was an invitation to trolls, and we were gonna entertain the trolls, but not a single one showed up. But there was someone.
They never show up when you want them to. Ever.
Yeah.
I said some trolly things in the chat.
Yeah.
You did, but you're not a troll.
Granny,
we weren't serious.
But you're a fun troll.
Yes, you're
Granny,
a fun troll.
There's one you can say his name 3 times and he will appear. I won't refer to him by name on this.
Oh,
stream.
I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah.
And
Asshole 104.
Asshole
Chris
104.
tried that. Yeah, it didn't work. But anyway, what I was getting to is there was somebody that showed up, and the conversation turned rather serious when he showed up. because he's in a very religious country, and he expressed that, you know, it sounds like he doesn't really believe the religion, but he's having a hard time letting go of the idea that he might be going to hell. And so we talked about, you know, how to free yourself from those thoughts.
Yeah, I mean that I've often heard that a lot from people like who coming out of religion or whatever, that like fear of hell is something that is very deep rooted if they've had that drummed into them from an early age.
Yeah, one of the last things to go.
I mean, if you want someone to come in and tout a bunch of religious bullshit, I still remember a lot of the religious bullshit I was taught. I can do that for you.
I view it that I'm going to hell in every single religion on earth, so
you're going to get divided up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have it occasionally from the old Church of England. And they're not particularly fire and brimstone-y, but they can still
No, yeah, they can be bad, and they're a little bit more light.
Yeah.
And they're lighter.
Well, we have
compared to the competition, but
we tend to describe it as high C of E rather than the casual C of E, and the high C of E seems to be pretty much as bad as the Catholics.
I was raised Southern Baptist. I still kind of fight with some of the beliefs that I was taught back when I was younger.
How old's the Earth?
I was told it was 6,000 years old, but fuck that shit. No, that's wrong. Or rather, I was told not to ask about it because it's not important. God does not want you to ask those questions. He wants you to ask the right questions.
That's when you know you're dealing with fucking dishonest people who know better. They say that to you.
Oh, they hated me. Like, I stopped believing at a young age.
I wasn't that smart.
So I just told them and asked a bunch of dumb questions.
It's a lot harder when you're surrounded by
that. Like, I got... Yeah.
Do you go to public school?
Me, yes.
I
have found out that I was sorely uneducated, and actually my school was supposed to be the last school that had segregated proms, actually.
Wow.
Was that while you were there?
At the school?
Yeah.
No, the school wasn't segregated, just the proms were. Like, everything, like prom, like we had 2 prom queens, we had 2 most likely to succeed, 2 homecoming queens. I thought that was normal until I got on the internet and like started seeing that nowhere else did that.
That's not good.
I thought it was bullshit, but...
Right, Brainbug says, conspiracy theorists, to which Mama Atheist says, oh yeah, them assholes too.
What was the question again?
Do you have any irrational prejudices?
Oh, yeah.
Or rational ones? Ilya says, I'm not prejudiced against uncontrollable factors like race, sexual attraction, etc., even religion. But I do judge based on behaviour. Brainbug says, anti-vaxxers boils my blood.
I do have possibly an irrational fear, actually.
I have lots of irrational fears.
Well, so do I, but there's one that's in my mind at the moment. Which
Spiders.
Is,
they all need to die.
No.
Die, now.
I like
all of them.
Spiders
No.
are my main.
Spiders can be adorable, though.
No, they can't. They need to die.
Yes.
All of them.
But I do not like chimpanzees.
Do you not?
No.
Why not?
Because I've seen a couple of pictures and videos of people who have been attacked by chimpanzees. And so now my brain associates all chimpanzees with that.
Do you want to know what's interesting?
They can be vicious as shit.
Do you want to know what's interesting about spiders? I did
They're
not.
fun and friendly.
No. I didn't used to be afraid of spiders.
What happened?
It was watching my sister. My sister was very afraid of them, and watching her responses to them.
I am so glad I didn't get that. My brother's terrified of crickets.
Do you come across them in the house often?
Crickets here, yeah.
Yeah.
And spiders.
I do have a couple of friends who have got the proper arachnophobia.
I basically live in the middle of the woods right now, so there's a fuck ton of everything.
Outstanding. I do like a good live in the woods.
Good live in the woods.
You to come visit me?
I'd be happy to live in the woods if it wasn't for all the spiders.
I could come visit you, Seraphim. You only live a few hours away from me.
So if we drive a few hours...
I live a couple of hours, like a few hours from Mama Atheist, too.
Yeah, so...
By your logic, I live near everyone in the UK.
Yes, you do.
yeah, well, if you drive too many hours, you fall off.
Off the edge of the earth?
I mean, I technically live in a different country to Math Pig, and he's only about 120 miles away.
Oh, gosh.
I used to live further in the middle of nowhere, and I actually had an hour-and-a-half drive to work one way. So I'm
that's
okay
insane.
with, like, long drives.
Yeah,
see,
when we've got an hour... we
I
plan...
wouldn't take a job that was more than a 20-minute drive away.
We
And
plan...
whenever I took care of my brother, it was an hour-and-a-half drive from where I worked to go take care of my brother, so...
We plan when we're going to go shopping, because the city centre is half an hour away.
Yeah, that's what we had to do. Whenever we went shopping, we had to plan it because it was like an hour and a half to the closest.
Yeah, that far away, we wouldn't go shopping.
But now I live closer. I live closer to the city. Like I live in the middle of the city, but I live in an area that's basically wooded area, so it's
If it
amazing.
was an hour and a half to go shopping, I would order online every time.
Yes.
They didn't deliver.
Then we'd
They
start.
still don't deliver to my hometown. Like my hometown gets delivery from nothing but basically like Amazon and eBay.
Oh, I was gonna say a thing. What was it? My brain's
Was it about
exploding.
prejudices?
No, well, it's linked to. I can't remember what it was. Never mind. Fuck it.
I would say I have both irrational and rational ones. I would
I do have a prejudice.
go on.
I'm prejudiced against paragraph role players.
What are paragraph role players?
In online roleplay, there are two distinct groups of role players. There are people who roleplay in quick sentences back and forth, and people who roleplay in long paragraphs back and forth. The long paragraphs, you will typically have 15 to 20 minute typing gaps between them posting their thing. And I have literally fallen asleep, woken up again, and left before they've replied to me.
Badger gets me. I agree. That like they
Are you
say
sure?
nothing.
You're not critical of the paragraph players. You're critical of typing speed.
No, the paragraph players, they take forever to type, and like their stuff says nothing. It's mostly just fluff.
I didn't need a fucking paragraph of introduction for you to say hi to me.
My thing is, it took someone like 5 paragraphs once to knock on the fucking door. I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, I'm just there like, okay, well you've used up all the time I had to roleplay by walking to the door, so we're done now. Good night. It's fucking 4 a.m. and you still haven't actually got to talk to me yet.
Right.
I should probably respond to my roleplays, actually, now that I think about it.
It sounds like you should roleplay with Badger. Bring handcuffs.
I do have a pair.
Both of them.
Sweet! We can take turns. It'll be fun.
I've got some nice fluffy handcuffs that hang from the side of my wardrobe, and I hang my headset on them.
I have a pair of I have a pair of police handcuffs, and I also have a pair of the fluffy ones too.
Leather handcuffs are better.
I don't have the leather ones. My ex-boyfriend took those.
Oh, that's
Aw.
cruel. Cruel.
It is. He neglected me, and then he took my fucking handcuffs, bastard.
Right. Next question.
What on earth's the context of this? I'm sorry.
We're talking about irrational prejudices.
Okay.
We are prejudiced
sort of feel,
against people that steal handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just sort of heard handcuffs. I'm unfamiliar with the context. I'm rather innocent about a lot of this stuff.
Oh, you poor sweet child.
Why, what context do you use handcuffs in?
Generally, if I'm getting arrested or something.
Does that happen often?
Not so much these days.
These days. Right, need to ask a question another day about getting arrested.
Actually, no, truth be told, I've never been arrested.
Oh!
I've never been arrested, but I've been in handcuffs plenty of times.
I've been
until he
I've been
asks the
punched by a
question.
cop. I've been punched by a fucking cop before.
Oh,
But
goodness.
Wow.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.